Lawmakers continuing to issue statements and weigh in condemning the shooting death of Charlie Kirk today. Former Vice President Kamala Harris said in a post on social media here, quote, "Political violence has no place in America. I condemn this act and we must work together to ensure this does not lead to more violence." For more, we're joined live now by Dr. Garen Windemute, an emergency room physician and director of the California Firearm Violence Prevention Research Center at UC Davis.
Yeah, Doctor, really appreciate the time as always. Boy, today it is another reminder of the presence of violence in our nation's public and political life. I mean, why is it on the rise?
I'm not sure that it is. I mean, we've certainly seen a group of events recently. We're going to have to wait and see what a longer term trend is. The reason I hesitated is we've been asking people about their support for and willingness to commit political violence for 5 years now. And we are not seeing an uptick in the public's support for political violence. We need to separate all of us from the extremists. And our job, if I can anticipate, is to keep the extremists from taking us over the cliff with them.
Yeah, you do these surveys every year and ask people their feelings and opinions on political violence in this country. And every year for the past 5 years, I believe, you have found that an overwhelming majority of people condemn these kinds of acts of political violence. Does your research offer us any clues then on how we can tone down the heated political climate and try to reduce these acts of violence?
Yes, our research and others. So there's a really uniform story coming out of this. First off, yes, the majority of us reject political violence. We need to make that opinion known to our families across whatever broader platforms we might have available, because there is really solid evidence that opinion makes a difference. If respected leaders, whether within a family or within a country, renounce violence, that reduces support for violence. We've even gone so far as to ask people, if there were civil war, what would you do? And the people who told us, I would pick up a rifle, I would be a combatant, more than half of those people told us, my family or my friends or respected community leaders could talk me out of it. So all of us have the job of talking people back from the cliff and staying the course as a country.
Yeah, but when you talk about, the individual responsibility, I want you to talk a little bit about what we're seeing in terms of what people are writing, for example, online, and the rhetoric that is out there, what they're saying, not only online, but in public, because it really sort of seems like it's on these polarized lines where it is an us versus them, always.
Yeah, it does, because those are the people who are talking the loudest. What we need is that voice from the vast majority of us in the middle, speaking up just as loudly as the extremists are, saying, excuse me, I don't hold with either of your positions. I am firmly committed to nonviolent political decision-making in the United States. And as I say that, these people could be saying, I speak for the vast majority of the country.
What is the common thread here? Does your research tell us what the people who commit acts of political violence, what do they tend to have in common?
We don't know very much about this event yet. So with that aside, about such events in general, people who commit violence as lone actors, which is our sense of what's going on today, tend to feel they have some sort of grievance. They tend to be angry. They tend to be isolated. If I can sort of sum it all up, they feel like they don't belong and have no future. Which is oversimplifying. But the task for the rest of us, part of it, is to help create a culture in which we minimize the number of people who don't feel like they belong. Because violence is legitimized by despair, and despair can be prevented.
Well said. We appreciate the time, Doctor. Dr. Garen Windemute from